A long time ago, in mid-July of 2021, I published the following. I'm going to read it from my phone on my Patreon regarding Ripple XRP. So I wrote, beginning 17th of March of 2022, XRP starts to experience a nodal inversion, which is at its most intense from the 22nd of July through to the 25th of September of 2022. This is going to mark an important turning point for XRP. So I say it will be extreme, and there's a lot happening behind the scenes, and then I say, I see that this is a turning point, that this turning point will involve some kind of deal that Ripple makes with an authority figure, possibly in a foreign land, and this will have implications in the homeland, in the case of Ripple, the US, and the price will be volatile during that period through to the 25th of September, but then Ripple will come out gaining a lot. And lo and behold, just as that period of nodal inversion that I mentioned is ending, Ripple, we see in the press, has positioned itself as a worldwide leader in the development of CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and actually they now have business going in various or with various foreign countries, in the case of Ripple, meaning countries other than the United States, to develop CBDCs for them. So, as you will see in my other video about the transit of Mars in the sign of Taurus, Mars is currently transforming governmental policy with regard to cryptocurrency. So that same Mars is currently, as it transits Taurus, transiting key planets in both of the XRP charts that I use for Ripple. And so that's happening just as we see that XRP has suddenly had this price breakout that in the cryptocurrency media has been attributed to the fact that both the SEC and Ripple have filed a motion for, I think it's called summary judgment, meaning that they are both asking the court to come to a conclusion regarding the case that the SEC brought against Ripple that's going to determine whether XRP is to be considered a security. So, do you know that Ripple and Bitcoin's destinies are powerfully intertwined? It's really clear when you look at the charts for both Ripple and Bitcoin. Really clear. So I use one main chart for Bitcoin, but I also look at the Genesis block chart every now and then. And I have two charts for Ripple. And well, I don't know if I should go into such detail, but Mercury is on Bitcoin's natal Jupiter in one of the sets, and then in another set, Ripple's Venus is on Bitcoin's Lagna. And so actually what I see very clearly, although you may be surprised, is that Ripple's journey is actually going to profoundly affect the future of Bitcoin. Now, before I go further, I want to say that the thing is that this is not going to hurt Bitcoin. You have to understand that Bitcoin is the sun of the cryptocurrencies. I wrote about this in my first book. Bitcoin is, it's not going to be hampered by Ripple's journey, and actually because of the astrological charts it will actually be propelled further, even though one might think that this wouldn't naturally dictate that, but that's actually what's going to happen. Like, keep in mind, even though these two kinds of things they don't have to be related at all, CBDCs and Bitcoin, the fact of the matter is, astrologically, which means celestially, which means reality, that Bitcoin is the sun. The sun, and like you can equate that to kind of like the gold of the digital gold, for example. We look at gold as been a store of value and it makes basically no sense. That's astrology. That's because that's what the universe dictates. That's because of the nature of the element of gold and the nature of the planet Jupiter. Well, although other astrologers don't understand this, I am sure that Bitcoin is actually ruled by Jupiter, and Bitcoin is gold. It's the digital gold. So when governments partner with, especially and banks with Ripple, and when governments do that to make their CBDCs, this is actually in the end going to propel Bitcoin further as the digital gold, the store of value, even though that's not Ripple's intention. Ripple was created actually to kind of like subvert Bitcoin, but that's not actually how this works. Okay, so now I'm going to continue, but I needed to say that. So back to Ripple. About the 8th of October of 2022, coming right up, Mercury is going to be entering into direct opposition with both Ripple's natal Mercury and and Bitcoin's natal Jupiter. And at that time, Moon is going to be transiting both of those natal planets in the sign of Pisces. The general public is probably not going to find out about this, but what's going to be happening is that Ripple at that moment is going to be making some kind of deal behind closed doors. So in the middle of December of this year of 2022 is when the final decision of the court on whether XRP is a security is expected. So at that moment, in the middle of December, is also when Mars is returning retrograde to transit the exact place where Mars is currently transiting and causing all of this current XRP news. So as an astrologer, I see that Ripple is going to be successful. That's what I see. That it's a really strong chart. And so what I also see is that in April, possibly just before April, when Jupiter enters into Aries, and at that moment Venus is transiting where Mars is currently transiting. I see that that's going to propel the Ripple's business further globally in a huge way. So to conclude, what I see is that, as I've been saying basically this whole time, Ripple XRP is a long-term hold that's gonna become something else completely, price-wise, I'm saying. So, like, I myself, I think I'm gonna be buying some more Ripple quite soon, because it's pretty much, it's just, yeah, it can get us some very, very good gains. But I also see that we'll have more buy-in opportunities, especially likely between mid-January and April. We'll probably have more opportunities to buy XRP. And the other thing about it is that XRP, like I said, it's a long hold, and it's really gonna really augment in price in a severe way, yeah, in a drastic way over time. So you have time to buy in. I don't see this as something that people need to jump in to. But I'm not a financial advisor. As an astrologer, and personally, I will be adding to my Ripple holdings. Yeah.